The world of the bold and the beautiful is never short of surprises, but the upcoming storyline surrounding Ridge Forrester is about to drop a bombshell that could change the course of his life forever. As Ridge stands at a crossroads in his relationship with Brooke, a mysterious chapter from his past resurfaces, threatening not only his future with her, but also his sense of self. When an old lover, Shauna Fulton, unexpectedly reappears, she drops a bombshell revelation that will shake Ridge to his core. He is a child that he never knew existed. This shocking revelation sends shockwaves through the Forrester family, unraveling long-buried secrets and forcing Ridge to confront his past in ways he never anticipated. Ridge has always been a man of integrity, a man who believes in family above all else, and his love for Brooke has been one of the most steadfast aspects of his life. Together, they have weathered countless storms, overcoming betrayals, heartbreaks, and even family drama. Their relationship, while far from perfect, has always been built on a deep, unshakable bond. Ridge has always considered Brooke the love of his life, and they have shared many moments of happiness and joy throughout the years. But as their love story continues, the past has a way of creeping up and threatening to undo all of the progress they've made. For Ridge, the appearance of Shauna and the revelation of his unknown child are a stark reminder that the past has a way of coming back when least expected. Shauna's sudden re-entry into Ridge's life brings with it a flood of memories that Ridge has long since tried to bury. Their relationship was brief, but intense, and the consequences of their time together have remained hidden, locked away in the recesses of Ridge's mind. The revelation that Ridge has a child with Shauna forces him to reckon with the choices he made in the past and the consequences those choices have had on his present and future. Shauna's presence in Ridge's life is not just a reminder of a past romance, but a challenge to his current happiness with Brooke. The stakes are raised higher than ever as Ridge is forced to confront the impact of his past actions on the future of his family. As Ridge grapples with the news of his secret child, the tension between him and Brooke begins to mount. Brooke, who has stood by Ridge through thick and thin, finds herself caught in a whirlwind of emotions. She has always believed in their love, but the revelation that Ridge has a child with another woman, a child that he never knew existed, shakes her to the core. Brooke struggles to understand how this secret could have been kept from her for so long, and her trust in Ridge begins to waver. The foundation of their relationship, built on years of love and loyalty, starts to crack as Ridge is forced to explain his past to Brooke, a past he never wanted to bring to light. But it's not just Brooke who is affected by Ridge's past. The entire Forrester family is thrust into turmoil as the truth about Ridge's hidden child begins to surface. Ridge's children, who have always seen him as a strong, dependable father, must now come to terms with the reality that their father has kept a secret of this magnitude. Ridge's role as a father is called into question as he struggles to reconcile his past with his present responsibilities. His relationship with his children, particularly with Steffi and Thomas, is tested as they question his ability to be honest with them and live up to the ideals of family that he has always preached. The revelation of Ridge's child with Shauna brings with it a deeper, more complicated question. Can Ridge truly reconcile his past with his present? Can he mend the rift between himself and Brooke, and can he regain her trust after so many years of secrets? The stakes are higher than ever as Ridge's love for Brooke and his commitment to his family are put to the test. He must navigate the delicate balance between honoring the family he has built with Brooke and facing the responsibility that comes with the child he never knew he had. As Ridge faces this tumultuous journey, he is forced to confront his past in ways that are both painful and necessary. He must face the mistakes he made with Shauna and the choices that led to the creation of a child he never even knew existed. But in doing so, Ridge begins to realize that his past is not something he can simply bury. It's a part of who he is, and it will always be a part of his future. This realization pushes Ridge to take a hard look at his life, his choices, and the people he loves. It forces him to ask the difficult questions. What kind of man does he want to be? What kind of father does he want to be? And most importantly, what kind of partner does he want to be to Brooke? Brooke, for her part, is faced with her own internal struggle. She has always believed in the power of love and forgiveness, but this new revelation forces her to question everything she thought she knew about her relationship with Rich. Can she truly forgive him for keeping such a massive secret from her? Can she trust him again, knowing that he has hidden something this significant from her for so long? These questions weigh heavily on Brooke as she grapples with the fallout from Ridge's past. She is torn between the man she loves and the betrayal she feels, unsure of where to turn or what to believe. As the story unfolds, Ridge's struggle to reclaim his family's love and trust intensifies. The pressure mounts as he is forced to confront not only his past mistakes, but also the potential fallout from Shauna's presence in his life. Shauna, for her part, is not simply a passive observer in this story. She is determined to ensure that her child, Ridge's child, is acknowledged and provided for. Her return to Ridge's life is not just about rekindling a past romance, but about securing a future for her child and making sure that Ridge takes responsibility for his actions. Shauna is not willing to let Ridge off the hook so easily, and she is prepared to do whatever it takes to ensure that her child is given the love and support they deserve. The tension between Ridge and Shauna escalates as Ridge begins to realize that his past is not something he can simply ignore. Shauna's insistence on his involvement in their child's life forces Ridge to make difficult choices that will have lasting implications for his family and his future with Brooke. As Ridge struggles to find his way through this complex web of emotions and obligations, he begins to see that he must make amends for his past if he wants to build a future with Brooke and his children. But the road to redemption is not an easy one, and Ridge's journey is fraught with obstacles that threaten to derail his efforts at every turn. The drama reaches a boiling point as Ridge faces the consequences of his actions. The Forrester family is on the brink of collapse as secrets are revealed and loyalties are tested. Brooke, torn between her love for Ridge and her hurt at his betrayal, must decide whether she can forgive him and rebuild their relationship. Ridge, for his part, must confront the reality that his past mistakes have cost him dearly, and he must fight with everything he has to win back the love and trust of the woman he holds dear. In the end, Ridge's journey is one of redemption, reconciliation, and self-discovery. He must come to terms with the man he was, the man he is, and the man he hopes to become. But the road to healing is long, and the stakes are higher than ever. Ridge must prove that he is worthy of Brooke's love and trust, and that he can be the man and father his family needs. The future of his relationships and the future of the Forrester family hangs in the balance as Ridge faces the most challenging test of his life, to come to terms with his past and build a future that honors the love and loyalty of those he holds most dear. As the storm continues to brew, one thing is certain: Ridge Forrester's life will never be the same again. The questions about his past, the secrets that have been hidden for so long, and the love he has for Brooke will drive the drama to its highest peaks. The battle for Ridge's future and his family's love is only just beginning. Hold on to your seats, the bold and the beautiful fans, because the bombshell we're about to unveil is set to leave you utterly stunned. Dr. Grace Buckingham, a character who has long been viewed as a seasoned and trusted medical professional, is about to face the consequences of playing the most dangerous game in Los Angeles. Her entire empire is about to come crashing down in spectacular fashion. The woman we all trusted, the expert doctor we thought was saving lives, has been orchestrating a twisted medical scam, manipulating Liam Spencer's health, falsifying brain scans, and even performing fake surgeries. All to siphon millions of dollars from Bill Spencer Jr. But this is where things get even juicier. As the Spencer family prepares to unleash their fury upon Grace for this unforgivable betrayal, there's a small problem. They've done the exact same thing before. And the person they did it to? He still doesn't know the truth. This is just the beginning of a shocking and explosive storyline. Let's break down this convoluted tale of medical manipulation that has been unfolding right before our eyes. After Liam suffers a painful fall following a heated argument with his father, he is rushed to Dr. Grace Buckingham for medical care. What was meant to be a routine emergency surgery to treat a brain hemorrhage quickly spirals into something far more sinister. Grace delivers the devastating news. Liam has an inoperable brain tumor in its final stages, with no hope left. Can you imagine the pain Bill must have felt? His son, seemingly dying before his eyes, with nothing he could do to save him. But wait, it gets worse. In a bid to make this fabricated diagnosis more believable, Grace reportedly begins dosing Liam with medication to simulate the symptoms of the fictitious illness she's created. We're talking about a woman who falsified medical records, altered brain scans, and watched as Bill's heart shattered day after day. For months, Bill witnessed his son deteriorate, desperately clinging to any shred of hope, any miracle that could save Liam. And then, like an angel from hell, Grace presented the so-called miracle treatment, a new, experimental procedure only she could perform. The price? A whopping $1 million. Bill didn't hesitate. Of course he didn't. This was his son. He transferred the money faster than you can say Spencer Publications, and Grace went ahead with the life-saving surgery. Except, here's the twist, there was no surgery. It was all a ruse, a shallow incision meant to look legitimate, while the evidence was meticulously erased to cover her tracks. Enter the real heroes of the story, Dr. Finn and Dr. Bridget Forrester. Something about Liam's miraculous recovery didn't sit right with them. The lack of detailed surgical reports? The impossibly rapid recovery? Grace's constant unease whenever they inquired? Their professional curiosity soon spirals into a full-blown investigation. And when they corner Grace, the truth crashes down like a floodgate. She confesses everything. The fake diagnosis, the drugging, the fake surgery, and the $1 million payoff. Everything. Finn, horrified by this egregious breach of medical ethics, demands that Grace come clean to Liam and Hope immediately. No more lies. No more deception. Liam and Hope deserve to know the truth. But here's where the hypocrisy gets thick. Now, Liam and Bill are preparing for a war. They're ready to destroy Grace, prosecute her, strip her of her medical license, and make sure she never practices medicine again. Their outrage will be absolute. Their condemnation will be ruthless. But there's a small issue. Remember 2017? Remember when Bill Spencer told Thomas Forrester that Caroline Spencer was dying of a terminal autoimmune disease, only to later reveal that it was a complete fabrication designed to tear Thomas and Sally Spectra apart and allow Bill to seize the Spectra Fashions building for his own real estate gain? Oh, you don't remember Liam's role in that? Let me remind you. Liam knew about his father's plot. Sure, he was emotionally tortured. When is he ever not? But when Thomas directly asked Liam about Caroline's health, what did our noble Liam do? He looked Thomas in the eye and lied. He continued the deception. He let Thomas walk away believing his mother was dying. And what about Steffi? She knew too. In fact, she thought the lie was necessary to protect Forrester's interests and eliminate Sally. Wyatt Spencer? He was also involved, staying silent for fear of being ostracized. What's significant here? Thomas still has no idea that his sister and longtime rival were involved in the lie. He has no idea they witnessed his heartbreak, his shattered life, and his anguish over the imagined death of the woman he loved, and they said nothing. Now, before we grab our pitchforks and storm Grace's office, let's consider why she did it. Because unlike Bill's lie about Caroline, which was motivated by greed, Grace had a gun to her head, literally. The gambling debts that her ex-husband, Dr. Reese Buckingham, accumulated, The same debts that led him to kidnap baby Beth have come back to haunt her. The mafia men Grace owes money to have returned, and this time, they're threatening her daughters, Paris and Zoe. This isn't about building a skyscraper or breaking up a romance you're annoyed by. This is the story of a mother trying to save her children's lives. Is it right? Not at all. But doesn't it make Bill and Liam's forthcoming righteous anger look far more hypocritical? Now, here's where things get really interesting. The writers have been sitting on the revelation of the Thomas and Caroline lie for years. This is their final ace in the hole, and when are they going to play it? Boom. Imagine the look on Thomas's face when he finds out that, while he was painted as the villain of the family, judged and condemned for his manipulations, his own sister lied to him about something as serious as his mother's death. Imagine him discovering that Liam, the righteous, moralistic Liam, was actively involved in the same kind of deception that he has always condemned Thomas for. The Forrester family will be torn apart. The fragile peace between the families will shatter. Thomas will have a legitimate weapon to use against Steffi and Liam, a weapon that could shift the balance of power forever. What happens next will shock you. Grace will undoubtedly be fired, that's certain. She will lose her medical license, face criminal charges, and probably be out of the show faster than you can say, gambling debts. The hereditary curse of the Buckingham family will strike again. Liam and Hope will likely use their shared pain to reunite because, clearly, a near-death experience is the only thing that can keep them together for more than 5 minutes. Sorry, Carter, you're on the bench again. But the real drama? The real shocker? That will happen when someone, maybe even Grace, in a desperate attempt to deflect, reminds Liam about the Caroline lie. Can you imagine Liam's face when he stands there, condemning Grace, and someone says, "Didn't you do the same thing to Thomas?" The Spencer family's glass house is about to be shattered. Fans remember everything. While the characters easily forget their own transgressions, the audience never forgets. Social media has been ablaze with moral outrage from fans. Bill did the same thing, they scream. What happened to Liam's righteous anger? The most frustrating part? We all know how this will play out. Grace, the outsider, will be severely punished. Bill and Liam, the traditional heroes, will somehow retain their shining hero status. The double standard here is so blatant it's almost offensive. But we get it, writers. We see the patterns. We remember the history. And we won't let Liam get off his moral high horse without reminding everyone that he helped build it on a foundation of lies. One thing is certain, this medical fraud scandal will expose far more than Grace's lies. It will unveil the rotten hypocrisy at the core of the Spencer family empire. And frankly, I can't wait to watch it all come crashing down. Will Thomas finally learn the truth? Will Liam realize his own role in this mess? Will Bill ever look in the mirror and recognize his own sins?